Yo, Klipsch guy here. Hey, so to my left and my right are the original Klipsch Heresy speakers that a subscriber and a friend has lended to me to listen to. These speakers I know nothing about because I think they were first presented back in the 1970s. That is 20 plus years before I was even thought of. So these, I don't think I would have ever heard them otherwise. I was doing a home theater tour in his home and saw these in the back corner. I was like, what are those? And he let me listen to them now. So I've had them in the house for probably two and a half weeks, probably now, maybe even 3. I've been listening to them now for the last 3 weeks, and I listened to them again today just to refresh my mind about them. And I know what I want to say about these. So first, let's talk about the looks and the design of them. You can definitely tell that they go way back. These speakers are obviously knee level and they're angled upwards towards your listening position. Today's speakers don't really do that. Yamaha, which is a sister company of Klipsch, they do have some floor-standing speakers that are like 40 inches tall that do lean up and point up at the listening position like these do, but a lot of manufacturers don't do that anymore. A lot of manufacturers do lean their speakers, but none of them are at this height anymore. So I think these are still classified as towers, not bookshelves, but I could be completely wrong. And if I am, leave me that comment down below. Also, leave me a comment down below. Have you ever owned or heard the original Heresy speakers before? Let me know that down below in the comment section. So what I could find, there wasn't much for me to dig up as far as specs go. I think I saw they were 100 watts RMS, 400 watts peak. I think this is a 12-inch driver, and then 2 different horn-loaded tweeters, I think. I don't think this is it can't be a port, so there should be 2 tweeters here. And it does have a cover. He didn't have the covers with him. His brother gave him these speakers, so no cover with them. But they're in overall pretty decent condition for the age, so not bad. Now let's get right into my ideas on the sound of them. I will have a few demos for you guys, just so you guys can hear something. But I've listened to a ton of different genres of music: hip-hop, jazz, R&B, reggae was on here, there's pop, rock. I listen to literally everything on these things, so I can get a good idea of what they're good at and what you want to listen to on them and what you don't. Now, I don't know how in-depth of a review I'm going to go because not a lot of people are going to buy these things, but it's cool that we have them on the channel. Gosh, I can't stop burping. I had a banana earlier. So, not a lot of people are going to buy these, but I want to talk about them anyway in case you own them or maybe you have a chance to pick them up, because I do see them go on, third-party, or not third-party, but you can get them from like eBay, you can get them from Craigslist, maybe Reverb has them, so you can still pick these up from, secondhand is what I meant to say. So here's what we got going on. I'm going to play some songs so you guys can hear it. These are random songs that are copyright free, but we'll listen to a few of them. Alright, so songs like that funky groovy kind of song is where these shine. These things are mid-range monsters where they have so much pronunciation in that mid-bass that it's perfect for songs like this. 60 hertz, 70 hertz and upwards. It destroys those in a good way. Pretty impressive if I'm being honest with you. Where it does lack is obviously in the bass department. These are sealed speakers, so big driver, pretty beefy cabinet, but it's completely enclosed, so there's no port, so that bass stops hard, about 55 hertz. I did a frequency sweep in my room just to hear. I didn't measure it, but I did listen to it up and down the frequency, and I found that after 55, 50 hertz, there was zero audio. You're not getting anything but noise at that point. So, but the mid-range is so pronounced and it sounds so good for songs like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the treble too. Today's Klipsch speakers have been plagued in the past by being too bright, maybe fatiguing, harsh, whatever you wanna spin it. These actually sound really good. I love them, and maybe because it's coming from down below up to me instead of coming right at me like their main speakers do nowadays. Whatever the difference is, I like the way these sound better than their modern speakers in terms of mid-range and treble. It sounds so sweet, it's so smooth, and it complements the mid-range. There is a hefty amount of mid-range that comes out of these speakers, and the high end, it almost needs to be as loud to blend with the hefty mid-range you're going to get, and it does, and it sounds really good. And the horn, the point of a horn is to keep from your sound doing this, and it does this instead, where it disperses across multiple seats or multiple places in the room, and it sounds really good for music. I did zero movie listening. That's not why you get these things. No movie listening, strictly music. That horn-loaded tweeter, the both of them, is such a smooth sound, even in today's standards, that I wish that some of their current speakers took more inspiration from these. I know there's the Klipsch Heritage series, La Scalas. I know those things exist, but your big box brand, Best Buy type Klipsch speakers, I wish they took more influence from whatever's going on here, because it sounds really good. I personally love it. I'm just gonna click on whatever this song's called, I'm in a Tree. We're gonna play that. See, just right there, it sounds so good. And I know I'm in a weird spot. I'm sitting in between the speakers, slightly in front of them, but the sound is so wide. It's incredible. And I'm sitting taller than these speakers are, but the sound is still well above my head. It just sounds so atmospheric that I just can't get enough of it. And then that one little beat right there of that mid-range just hits you in the chest. I'm gonna continue rolling on that song. I will say one thing, if you ever thought about getting these speakers or any of the versions, and there's like 4 different versions of these Heresies, if you ever thought about getting these speakers, I highly do not advise it if your room is not treated in some sort of way. Because the mid-range bass that comes out of them, and then the high frequencies, the pressure that they bring to a room, you're gonna have to contain that somehow. I need more acoustic treatment in my room, but these 2 panels that you guys, I don't know if you guys can see them in the camera angle, but they are built to handle the mid-range frequencies, and then I have some behind me that are made to handle the high-range frequencies. You're gonna need something to tame all of this mid-bass and high frequencies, or you're gonna have things bouncing everywhere, echoing, and it's gonna sound disastrous. But if you can tighten it up, it's one of the prettiest sounds that I've heard out of a speaker. I'm gonna do one more and then we'll close it there. This one's an electronic song, they say. Let's try it. Yeah, they just make you smile. Just the incredible level of detail you get out of that high end frequencies and the mid bass is just you can't do anything else but smile at the music because it sounds so good. Every instrument has enough separation between each other that you can hear who's taking lead, who's falling back, what you're supposed to focus on. Obviously that piano that brought us in carried through, and you never lost track of it as other instruments started to come in, as the octave started to rise. It's just a really good speaker. They really do sound good. The gentleman that let me borrow them did tell me they sounded good. He didn't tell me that they were this good. I like them, to be very honest with you. I think this would be a killer 2-channel system for somebody. Also, when it comes to the lower bass notes, it definitely leaves something to be desired. So find yourself a rail sub, a speed woofer, something like that, something sealed to add some low end bass, because it's tough listening to certain genres of music when there's no bass. Because when you listen to bass heavy music or something that has a walking bass line, potentially jazz, reggae, if you like hip hop and R&B, when you listen to music that has a lot of low bass and you get none from the speaker, it just sounds hollow. So you can fall into an issue where you're blaming the speaker about the lack of bass when it's really your choice of music that you're playing on them that's the issue. So if you put a subwoofer with these speakers and dial it in, and I'm talking like high level inputs and outputs, I wouldn't try to rely on getting a crossover correct. I would get a subwoofer that can take high level inputs and blend these in together and get the perfect volume, and you would have yourself a 2-channel system that I don't think you would ever replace, because they sound incredibly good, unless you just wanted taller speakers or whatever, or more capable speakers, whatever. So I'm impressed. It was really cool for me personally to be able to hear speakers that are well before my time. I think that is awesome. So shout out to him, Kareem, for allowing me to use these speakers for a demo. They sound fantastic. I don't know if I'm giving them back. I'm just kidding. But if you haven't heard these and you know somebody who has them, go listen to them. They sound fantastic. If you have ever wanted some Heresy speakers and you have the opportunity to get them, I highly recommend them. Just make sure that you put them in an environment that is a little bit treated so that you can contain what they're going to give you. And if you like a plethora of music, then add a sub to it just to kind of round out that lower end, because I promise you there is no bass. Don't let the big driver and the big cabinet fool you. It's all about mid-range with this speaker, no bass whatsoever. And if you're going to buy them for home theater, just forget about it. It's not an option. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, have you heard these speakers? Have you heard any of the versions ahead of this speaker? Let me know that down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are not already, and we will see you in the next video. K-Bass Guy out. Peace.